You're watching the History Fella channel, and in this video we're looking at Paul von Hindenburg. Paul Ludwig Hans Anton von Beckendorf and von Hindenburg was born on the 2nd of October 1847 and would die on the 2nd of August 1934. Hindenburg was a German field marshal and statesman who led the Imperial German Army during World War I. He later became President of Germany from 1925 until his death. During his presidency, he played a key role in the Nazi seizure of power in January 1933, when, under pressure from his advisors, he appointed Adolf Hitler as Chancellor of Germany. Hindenburg was born to a family of minor Prussian nobility in Posen. Upon completing his education as a cadet, he enlisted in the 3rd Regiment of Foot Guards as a second lieutenant. He then saw combat during the Austro-Prussian and Franco-Prussian Wars. In 1873, he was admitted to the prestigious Kriegsakademie in Berlin, where he studied for 3 years before being appointed to the Army's General Staff Corps. Later in 1885, he was promoted to the rank of Major and became a member of the Great General Staff. And after a 5-year teaching stint at the Kriegsakademie, Hindenburg steadily rose through the Army's ranks to become a Lieutenant General by 1900. Around the time of his promotion to General of the Infantry in 1905, Count Alfred von Schlieffen recommended that he succeeded him as Chief of the Great General Staff, but the post ultimately went to Helmuth von Moltke in January 1906. In 1911, Hindenburg announced his retirement from the military. After World War I started in 1914, Hindenburg was recalled to military service and quickly achieved fame on the Eastern Front as the victor of Tannenberg. Subsequently, he oversaw a crushing series of victories against the Russians that made him a national hero and the centre of a massive personality cult. By 1916, Hindenburg's popularity had risen to the point that he replaced General Erich von Falkenhayn as Chief of the Great General Staff. Thereafter, he and his deputy, General Erich Ludendorff, exploited Emperor Wilhelm II's broad delegation of power to the German Supreme Army Command to establish a de facto military dictatorship. Under their leadership, Germany secured Russia's defeat in the east and achieved advances on the Western Front, deeper than any seen since the conflict's outbreak. However, by the end of 1918, all improvements in Germany's fortunes were reversed after the German army was decisively defeated in the Second Battle of the Marne and the Allies' 100 Days Offensive. Upon his country's armistice with the Allies in November 1918, Hindenburg stepped down as Germany's Commander-in-Chief and retired once again from military service in 1919. In 1925, Hindenburg returned to public life to become the second elected president of the German Weimar Republic. Personally opposed to Adolf Hitler and his Nazi party, Hindenburg nevertheless played a major role in the political instability that resulted in their rise to power. After twice dissolving the Reichstag in 1932, Hindenburg agreed in January 1933 to appoint Hitler as Chancellor in coalition with the Deutsche National Volkspartei. In response to the Reichstag fire, which was allegedly committed by Marinus van der Lubbe, he approved the Reichstag fire decree in February 1933. This would suspend various civil liberties. Then later in March he signed the Enabling Act of 1933, which gave the Nazi regime emergency powers. After Hindenburg died the following year, Hitler combined the presidency with his office as Chancellor, before proceeding to declare himself Führer and Reichskanzler der Deutschen Volks, or leader and Reich Chancellor of the German people, and transformed Germany into a totalitarian state.